There's a moment in this concert that no broadcast network replayed in full. Not because it wasn't important. Because to understand it fully, you had to have been paying attention since January. And most networks started paying attention in March. January 28th, 2026. Minneapolis. Not the March tour opener. This is 2 months earlier. A different venue. A different context. A different register. Springsteen is not on tour yet. He is at a benefit concert organized in response to the ongoing ICE enforcement operations in Minneapolis that have been separating families, detaining workers, removing people from streets and homes without what advocates are calling due legal process. He has written a new song specifically for this event. He has not announced it in advance. He performs it for the first time that night. Streets of Minneapolis, a dedication to the people of the city, a witness document in song form, the specific musical format that has been using for 50 years to say the thing that the news report cannot say, because the news report is organized around what happened, and the song is organized around what it felt like when it happened. Most people miss this January concert entirely. The March tour opener gets the coverage. The May Manchester speeches get the coverage. The Trump golf ball video gets the coverage. The Land of Hope and Dreams EP gets the coverage. The January benefit concert, the first event of the year, the one that establishes a frequency everything else operates on, is absorbed into the general noise of the week and moves past. Which means that when the March speech lands and the EP drops and the Trump golf ball video circulates and 20,000 people erupt in the Target Center, most people are receiving the climax without having heard the opening. They are in the third act of a performance that started in January in a benefit concert about ICE operations in a city that the man on the other side of the feud has been using as a symbol of everything he thinks is wrong with America. Springsteen understood in January what most observers would not understand until May, that the Land of Hope and Dreams tour was not going to be a concert tour with political commentary. It was going to be a political document with concerts attached. The repetition was the strategy, not the escalation strategy of someone building toward a confrontation. The repetition strategy of someone building a record. The same indictment, in the same language, from the same stage, night after night, city after city, continent after continent, until the indictment existed in so many venues and on so many recordings and in so many languages that no single post about dried up prunes could address it, because the indictment was not a statement. It was a record. This is the thing the networks missed. May 14th, 2025. Manchester. First night of a European leg. The speech is 3 minutes. He does not name Trump. He describes the administration, corrupt, incompetent, and treasonous, and he describes what the administration is doing. He says this is happening now, after each indictment. He asks the crowd to raise their voices against authoritarianism. He launches into Land of Hope and Dreams. The crowd of 30,000 erupts. Trump posts the following morning. He tells Springsteen to keep his mouth shut. Springsteen keeps his mouth open. May 18th, 2025. Manchester. Second night. Same venue. Same crowd. Different individuals. Same 30,000 capacity. Same mid-show pause. Same walk to the front of the stage. Same 3-minute speech. Not a repeat. An update. New specifics from the intervening 4 days. The same structure. The same, this is happening now, timestamps. The same conclusion. The crowd erupts again. Trump has already posted. The post is already in the record. Springsteen's decision to give the second speech anyway, 4 days after being told to stop, in the same city, on the same stage, to a different audience, is the first full articulation of the repetition strategy. He is not escalating. He is documenting. He is adding a second data point to a record that will eventually contain enough data points that the record itself becomes the argument. He releases the speeches as a streaming EP, not a bonus track. The speeches are tracks, titled, sequenced, archived in the permanent form that streaming distributes globally and that algorithms surface in perpetuity. Land of Hope and Dreams. Introduction 1 minute 39 seconds. Available on Spotify, Apple Music, every platform. Indexed, searchable, listenable without the concert, without the guitar, without the 30,000 people. Just the voice and the words, and then this is happening now. That closes each indictment. Trump posts a video of himself hitting a golf ball, edited to appear to knock Springsteen off his feet. The EP has already been downloaded 400,000 times. March 31st, 2026. Minneapolis, Target Center. The American leg opens. This is the city where Streets of Minneapolis was first performed in January at the benefit concert for the families affected by the icy operations. Springsteen is back. The audience contains people who were at the January benefit. The audience contains people who have been streaming the Manchester EP for 10 months. The audience contains people who heard about the golf ball video and came to see what the man on the ground looked like after it. 22,000 people. The same speech, updated. Corrupt, incompetent, racist, reckless, and treasonous. The racist is new. The rest is a record. You want to talk about snowflakes? We have a president who can't handle the truth. The room erupts. Not because the sentence is new, because the room has been waiting for the American version of what Manchester received. The same speech, in an American room, in the city where the January benefit concert said the first were a record that has been building for 15 months. The eruption is not the eruption of people hearing something for the first time. It is the eruption of people who have been holding something for 15 months and have been given the specific, physical, communal permission to release it simultaneously. 20,000 people, the benefit concert families, the EP listeners, the people who saw the golf ball video, all in the same room at the same moment, receiving the same sentence that all 30,000 people in Manchester received 10 months ago, updated with the word racist, confirmed by the repetition. The repetition is the point. This is what the networks cover as a news event. The speech, the reaction, the Trump response. Without covering as an argument, the argument is not the speech. The argument is that the speech has been given in substantially the same form in Manchester on May 14th in Manchester, on May 18th in Minneapolis in January, and Minneapolis in March, and will be given in every American city on the tour schedule for the May 27th Washington, D.C. finale, for miles from the White House, at Nationals Park. In the city where the indictment the speech contains will be received by an audience that lives inside its consequences daily. Trump's response to the March Minneapolis speech calls Springsteen a total loser and a bad singer and a dried-up prune and calls for a boycott of concerts that are already sold out. The response does not address the repetition. It does not address the EP. It does not address the January benefit concert or the Streets of Minneapolis dedication or the IC families in the audience or the 15 months of the same indictment in the same language building a record that exists on streaming platforms in permanent, index, globally accessible form. It addresses appearance and ticket sales and the quality of the vocal performance. By the time the March speech is given, the record contains 1 benefit concert in January, 2 Manchester speeches in May 2025, a streaming EP released the same week Trump told him to stop, and 1 American tour opener that sold out before the first post about dried up prunes was written. Each entry in the record is a response to the instruction to stop. Each response to the instruction to stop is another entry in the record. This is happening now. The sentence that closes each indictment is also the sentence that describes the repetition itself. Not this happened. Not this will happen. This is happening. Present tense. Active. Ongoing. A record being built in real time. In public. On stages that hold 30,000 people and platforms that reach 30 million. By a 75-year-old man from New Jersey who was called a flagrant toxic narcissist in 2016 and who has spent a decade since watching what the flagrant toxic narcissist does when no one repeats the truth loudly enough and often enough for it to become a record rather than a comment. He is making a record, night after night, city after city, the same indictment, the same this is happening now, the same eruption, the same response about dried prunes and ticket prices, the same entry in the archive. The repetition is the scaffolding. The record is the structure. And the structure will be standing long after the tour ends and the posts are forgotten and the golf ball video has been watched its last time. In the streaming archive, in the EP track list, in the transcripts published on Springsteen's own website, in the memory of every person who was in every room where the speech was given and who will carry it the way people carry things that were true when they heard them and remain true every time they return to them. Raise your voices against authoritarianism and let freedom ring. The same words every night because the record requires repetition and the repetition is the record. The people who subscribe to this channel don't come for drama. They come for the moments nobody else is willing to show. Join them. Subscribe. Turn on notifications. The next truth is already on the table.